everyone, it's me, Hattie, and I am back with another speed build. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a super special speed build though, because this house is for Sasha, aka Vixella. I wanted to do a build for Sasha because I find her to be super inspiring. She actually inspired me to start YouTube in the first place. When I was watching her videos, I think I started watching her videos about 10 months ago, and when I was watching them, I really did feel like she was having so much fun on them. And I said to myself, I want to be having that much fun. How do I have that much fun? So honestly, after that, I started buying the software, I started practicing, and it's because of her that I am really on YouTube, and she has really inspired me to do this. So I wanted to do a build for her that was completely inspired by her and her style. She is also one of my favorite YouTubers, so there is that as well. But I just wanted to do something that was really reflective of her personality, and hopefully something that she might enjoy. So I'm not expecting anybody to be using this house like whatsoever. Like, if she never uses this, I don't mind. I just wanted to do a build that was inspired by her for a bit of fun and hopefully something that she likes. So that's what I was thinking. So whilst I was building this, I was thinking about all the different colours that I'd want to use for it. I was thinking about different colours of pinks, purples, blues, pretty much any colour that I would personally associate with her channel and her personality. And that's what I was thinking. So I did really have that in mind whilst I was building this. I really wanted to make this special though. I wanted to make it quite girly. And even though pink, purple, blues, pale pinks, I'm talking about, like, maybe they are a little bit girly, but then again, I did ask my fiance, like, did he like this house? And he looked at me and said, yes, I love that house. So maybe it's not girly, I don't know, but I like it either way, and I hope that she does as well. I did ask her last night and she seemed pretty happy with it, so I was absolutely over the moon that she did like the picture that I sent her, and yeah, that was pretty good. So anyways, I couldn't find some windows that would really suit the needs for this build, unfortunately. I was thinking a lot about the windows. I was thinking, what do I have? Like, do I have pink windows? Do I have purple windows? But I thought, no, those pale blue ones just work perfectly, and also it gives a really nice contrast to the build. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to use those, going to put them at the front. They look really fairy tale-ish, yeah, and I liked it. I like the idea of it, so I used a lot of those and I was super happy with it. But this build took me a very long time to build, actually. Even though the actual video is not that long, I probably spent about 6 or 7 hours doing this build alone because I wanted to absolutely make it perfect. Because after all Sasha has done for me, she really did give a humongous shout out to me about a week ago, and I was just over the moon like when it happened because that meant so much. So I wanted to give something back, and I wanted to do this build for her. A lot of people were requesting it, but little did you know, I was working on it already. So I wanted to do something that was really special, and I was thinking a lot about it, so that's probably why I spent so long on it. I was also getting really heavily distracted when I was building it on Sunday because there was so much background noise going off. It was insane. I had like tractors going past my house and everything. It's not really unusual because I do live on a farm, but still, are you kidding? Tractors? Yeah, they were just everywhere. Here, there, and everywhere, just around the back of my house. It was crazy. And then my dog was really not well behaved on Sunday because he kept pestering me whilst I was building this. He kept wanting stuff, but it wasn't anything that he needed because he had everything. He had like food, he had cuddles, because my fiance was like, okay, I'm gonna look after Teddy for a little bit, and you know, we kind of take it in turns sometimes, like when we're busy. And no, he was just being really awkward, so I had to keep stopping. And of course, being me, I drink like 15-20 cups of tea a day or something insane like that. So yeah, I had to keep stopping for tea breaks and just general food. So I was just kind of, I guess, doodling. I guess I can say that, yeah. I was just really relaxing whilst I was doing this, and I found it really therapeutic, so that's what I was doing. I was also thinking, about the build itself. I was trying not to focus too much on it whilst I was building it as well, because I was trying to really think about, like how I'd have it and how I think that Sasha would like a build. So I wasn't really sure, but I do think we have similar styles when it does come to it, because I do think that we both appreciate the traditional styles of builds, because that's something that we both like to build, and I really like that. And I think that Sasha's absolutely fantastic at building traditional homes. In fact, if you've seen her latest ones, then they're absolutely amazing, and if you haven't, then I definitely recommend that you go and see them because they are phenomenal. In fact, I saw a video from Sasha, I think I saw it like 2 days ago, and she did this home and it was absolutely genius. How she did the merging of the colours with the ivy, it just looked amazing. So yeah, definitely do that. I'm going to leave the links below, of course, so you can go and check out her channel. So anyways, I was putting some flowers around the front. I wanted to go for pinks and purples because I just thought that they looked really pretty, and I thought, you know, it kind of went with everything. I was really happy about using that stained glass window to the side as well. If anybody's noticed that, in fact, no, I used quite a few. I didn't realise I used that many. Looking back, I used a lot of those, but I do like them, and I've been waiting for a good excuse to use a lot of those recently because it just kind of hasn't come up yet, but I like them and I'll probably use them a lot more. In fact, I'm going to be doing a chapel style build or something, or a church, pretty soon, amongst a lot of other builds as well. So yeah, you'll probably see a lot of stuff like that coming up on my channel, so you'll probably see those again at some point. But I was just putting some flowers around, some general plants, because that's definitely something that I've noticed more with Sasha's builds, because she's putting a lot more landscaping into her builds, and I think that landscaping is something that she does like as well. So that's why I added so much. So there is a lot of landscaping on this build. I mean, it practically covers it. It's hardly unseeable by the end, I've got to admit to you, but I, you know, had fun with it. And I think that landscaped builds are the builds that I mostly enjoy, the ones that have got a ton of landscaping on, because I find them so fun, and it's my chance to kind of get a little bit creative, get a bit arty. So that's what I thought. But I added some rocks around the front area because I wanted some kind of neatness here. I don't know, I was just kind of feeling it. I wanted it to look like it had been raised off the ground, which is something that we don't have in The Sims 4, unfortunately. I think we did have it in The Sims 3 where we could have plants a little bit higher, and it could look like it's completely covered, like it's a completely covered area. So I like to kind of enlarge things to give that effect in The Sims 4, and that's something that a lot of people do like. So I thought I'd do that. I also wanted to put some little plants in between the rocks to make it look a little bit overgrown, a little bit more natural, because I thought that if it didn't have that, then it would look a little bit too unnatural for me, and I don't know, wouldn't really work for me. So that's what I did. And I was adding some ivy here, which was my favourite bit of the whole build. I decided to go for the pink ivy because I haven't actually used that yet. I usually use the cream ivy, and that pretty much goes with every single build that I do. I never use this ivy, but I think that it looks really special, and it looks even more special if you have it on the afternoon mode in the day. But unfortunately, while I was filming this, I put it on like a morning afternoon setting, and I forgot to change it, so I am so sorry. But it does look really special when the sun's out, and it looks like it's shining, and I think it looks a little bit more natural because you can actually see the texturings of it, and I think it looks a lot better like that. So yeah, if you decide to do that, then you'll definitely appreciate it a lot more, I think, because I think that I appreciated it a lot more like when I had a look at it on the different settings of the day. So I was just putting some more ivy. I was trying to overlap it a little bit because I really love this style at the moment, and I was trying to use a lot of the different styles in this, and you know, I kind of thought that that would be a good start. I was thinking a lot about the fact that if I thought that there was too much, then I could take some away and it wouldn't be a big deal. So I was trying to stick with that idea, and I was thinking to myself, you know, it's not a big deal. Like, I could go completely over the top and then just delete some. And that's what I've started to do recently. When I felt like I need some landscaping somewhere, but I just can't think how much I need, then I'll just add an absolute ton to it, and then I'll just take some away at the end. And that's pretty much what I did with this build. So at the moment, it looks a little bit like it's in blocks, but then what I did is I made it look a little bit uneven on purpose to make it look a little bit more natural, and like it's actually grown up the side of it and make it look really good. And I love ivy. I've always grown up in houses that have had ivy, and that's probably where the whole thing comes from. I try and say it a lot in my builds, but a lot of my style of landscaping and flowers is really inspired from a house that I used to live in when I was really young, and I've probably exaggerated it like completely over the top now because I have not seen this house in, I'm gonna say 10, maybe even 15 years. I was so young. I was like 6. I'm not even kidding. I mean, I'm 21 now, so yeah, you can tell like how long it's been. It's been a long time since I've seen this build, but you know, I just kind of think that for that house, I mean, looking back, it was absolutely covered in landscaping like we're seeing now, and yeah, a lot of the styling comes from that. It was also a Tudor house, so I guess in my builds, I do try and reflect the Tudor kind of style in a lot of them. And I think that this house is a little bit of a unique one because it's pastel-y, but it has also kind of got that old traditional vibe. Like, it's been repainted. I mean, this could have been a Tudor home for all we know. Underneath all that paint, like, we have no idea. So you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, that's that. I did also put some flags at the top there because something that my friends have really been into recently, like seriously been into, is collecting flags. And in fact, this is really strange, but my best friend actually tried, or she did, she actually did send me a few flags through the post. And that was when I moved into the apartment in Switzerland, but I've moved from there now. But that was for that. And I had to hang them up on my wall and everything. There was like a row of them. So I put some on this house because I was thinking, yeah, like I think maybe it's kind of a craze at the moment, but I'm not exactly sure. So I thought, for this house would be pretty nice to just have at the top. So if you notice them there, they're just at the right hand side of the front. Anyway, so this was a garden. I tried a little bit too hard with this, I think. I tried to fill it up as much as I could because I didn't want to waste any space, because I think that it looks quite nice being a big amount of space, and I wanted to really maximize the garden capability. And I thought a good way to do that would be definitely build something around the side, like a pool, and make it pretty big. So that's what I thought. I put some rose petals in the water because I haven't used those yet, and I think they look absolutely stunning, and I love them so much. And I just kind of thought with this build, it just kind of went with the whole theme of roses and pinks and purples, and I love that flower personally. I really do. So I put that in, and yeah, I mean, I hope everyone else likes it as well. But then I was just putting around the sides just some more ivy. I was trying to make it match. So I did actually go to a very large extreme of putting a lot of ivy on the back of the house. And it's been unusual for me because I don't usually do that. In fact, the back of the house is often quite neglected, but I had time for this one. I was like, no, I've got time, I can do it all, or at least do a majority of it. So it was really full by the end, and you'll see that in a little bit, because this is probably the most ivy I've ever put on a back of a build. In fact, I did a build not long ago, which was, in fact, it was very long ago, it was like 6 months ago now, but it was a build that I unfortunately didn't have on YouTube because I hadn't started by then, but it was covered in ivy from the front, and then it was completely empty by the back of it. And somebody commented, or like a couple of people commented actually, like, hey, there's no ivy at the back, but just kind of made me laugh a little bit because I mean, I sometimes do that, but I don't want to be lazy with this house. Like, I wanted to really try my best and kind of pull out all the stops on this one, and yeah, do it properly, and that's what I did. So I just put a little path around the back. I love when you get together textures with the pathway spraying things that you can do. I don't know what it's called, but I was doing it anyway because I think it looks really nice and I love it. So I put some of that through the garden. I think it looks really natural as well, so I was happy. I was just kind of filling up the walls again, just kind of doing what I said I would and putting some things in, but I'm not sure how the interior of this build's gonna look. Maybe it'll be really pale and nice as well. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll kind of follow through the theme of the inside. I'm not sure like if I'd build it for a family or maybe just for like one person. Like, I'm not actually sure. I mean, what do you think, guys? Like, let me know in the comments below what you want to see in the inside of this house. But anyway, so I was back to the front. I was trying to rearrange the colours of the flowers at the front because I wasn't too happy with them. I was also trying to rearrange the front window because I was not happy with that. So what I decided on was to drag everything out and make it a little bit bigger so I have more room to work with at the front, because I didn't feel like I left myself enough space, and I thought that, I could have probably had more space with it. So yeah, started rearranging everything. All that work that I'd just done, just rearranged the whole thing. So that's what I was doing. But I think it looks nice. I like how it's kind of even in the middle. I really like that with the windows and everything, and it looks a little bit fairy tale-ish, which I love. And I incorporated some trees in it, so that's nice. But this was the front of it, so I did change it quite drastically as well, but I do actually prefer it like this. I think it looks really pretty, and I was happy with that. But what I did do is, because I felt like it looked a little bit plain just being that, so I put some more ivy around it. So if the build couldn't use any more ivy, then I just put a little bit more in there. But that is the build, so I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will speak to you all soon.